All right, welcome Beverly at the advent of your retirement. Several people have asked Beverly if she's leaving our church and moving away, and is she still going to do ministry? And she's not moving away, she's not leaving our church family, and she's still going to do lots of ministry, right? But she's retiring from being secretary. And so Beverly, tonight is to honor, we want to honor you. Pay attention up here, Beverly, look over here. She does that kind of thing to me, so. Anyway, so we're here tonight. We want to honor you, and I was responsible for the program, and I'm kind of fly by the seat of my pants, and now I'm regretting it. But I felt like what would be really good tonight would be to do for you what we did for my mother. And I told y'all what we did for my mother a while back. This past summer, we sat my mother down, and we said, "Hey, Mom, here's what we appreciate about you," because you know, after people are gone and we all get together and we say, "This is what I really appreciate about this person," they don't ever get to hear it. So the program tonight has got a little extra, but mainly it's going to be an opportunity for those of you that want to express appreciation to Beverly. If you've got a neat story or a funny story to tell her about it, that would be really good. But it's just going to be your opportunity to say to Beverly, "Hey, here's what I've appreciated about you being our secretary, about you being my friend, being my sister, being in our church family for the past 30 plus years," right? So that's the goal tonight. And so I'm going to pray, and then we'll get started. All right, everybody ready? Father, we thank you for the occasion tonight, which is our sister Beverly, and we're here to honor her because she has served our church family so faithfully for all these decades. So, Lord, we're here to honor her tonight, to bless her. Lord, even as we bless her, we believe we're going to be blessing you, because to bless her, to bless you, she's one of yours. And so tonight we want you to be honored as well through this evening. But, Lord, make this special for Beverly, we pray, in Jesus' name. Amen. So we've got someone from far away who wants to say something to you tonight. So if you focus your attention on the screen.
Hi, Bev. I'm so sorry I can't be there today, but I wanted to tell you congratulations on your retirement. I'm really happy for you. I know you're going to be using all this extra time to do lots of sewing, but I hope you can squeeze in a little time to come visit me this summer. I miss you. I love you. Congratulations.
And I forgot to tell you all this just in case you may have missed it, but all the quilts in here are quilts that Beverly has done over the years. And this is just a fraction of them. For those, this is just a fraction of the quilts that, maybe we've been paying you to make quilts all these years? So she's been making all these quilts all these years. Here's another one for you, Beverly, this evening.
Congratulations, Miss Bev, on 30 years at BCBC. I think some of my favorite memories from there came from when I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and Mom was in Bible study, and you'd come let me hang out in your office. We'd go to the library and pick out some books, and then you'd help me out by taking my poorly written reviews of those books and putting them in the church newsletter, which is funny to think about now, but back then it was pretty serious business. So I always did appreciate you taking the time. So again, congratulations on your retirement. I hope you enjoy, and I hope I can see you again soon.
That was Matt. That was Rita's son. So he grew up in our church family. And then one more before I give you an opportunity to come up here live and speak. But this is one more from someone that you'll recognize immediately.
Well, Bev, let me just tell you congratulations on serving the church family there at Bacon's Castle for the past 3 decades. What a great testimony to faithfulness and loyalty, and to think that you've been there for over 30 years. That's almost as long as I've been alive. But really, I'm so proud of you and thankful for you. I know when you think back on the 4.5 years that I was there, that was probably a blip on your radar. But for me, those were very significant years, and you were a significant part of those years. And so I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for the ways that from day one, I knew I had someone that welcomed me and was patient with me and encouraged me. I had a friend. I remember our Monday morning talks on how our teams did the day before. Your team often did much better than mine, and that will probably be the case forever, but that's okay. I remember the Christmas music that would start playing just through the door in your office. I remember coming in and on a pretty regular basis, seeing your office all rearranged. I was always amazed that you had done all the moving. I remember you planning your trips, your travel, whether it was Xander and Linda or a quilting trip, and just your excitement to share your the map and all the stops and quilt shops you're going to go to. I remember having to be the peacemaker between you and Jimmy sometimes, and trying to calm you down when Jimmy had said something or forgotten something. But it was a great atmosphere, great place to be, and I'm thankful that I was part of your family for so long. There were lots of good times and there were hard times, but I'm thankful to be your friend and your brother, and I just want you to know that I'm so thankful for you. May God bless you as you try and figure out what to do now. I know it's going to be hard for you. I know it's going to be hard for Jimmy and the rest of the church, because there are so many things that you did that no one really knows about. But may you find joy. May you be joyful as you enter this new stage of life. I love you, Bev. I wish I could be there, but we will see you soon, hopefully.
For those of you that may be new to our church family, that was Nathan Cecil. He was a former associate pastor. And so, yeah, some of that stuff he said just wasn't true, but that's all right. All right, who's going to be first tonight to come and share some thoughts with Bev, or just a memory with all of us, something funny? Who'll be first tonight? Sue, this is wonderful. You know why it's wonderful? Do you know this? Come here. Do you know why this is wonderful that you jumped up first?
I don't.
Because 15 years ago, when we did this for Beverly, you were the first to jump up then, too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Except I asked you to do it, and you got out there and told everybody I asked you to do that.
Well,
This time I did not. That's right. So here you go.
in the beginning, God created Beverly, and He recreated her when she came to VBS, her first time at Bacon's Castle, and I think I had part in your salvation that night. I believe I did, but thank God that He saved Beverly and brought her our way, and we're so glad. Among many things that she means to me, and I've been here longer than she has, by the way, she is always so helpful to do whatever we need at the last minute sometimes, like making bridesmaids' dresses 1 month before the wedding and things like that. That was my most recent memory I've heard. And so many times we'd ask her to help with the Christmas musicals for the kids and the different things we needed, and she was always available and never said, "Oh, no, I'm too busy." No, she wasn't ever too busy to help. And I could come up with a lot more, but I want to save time for you all. But I'm so glad that I had part in Beverly's salvation when she came to VBS for the first time at Bacon's Castle. Thank you, Beverly, for everything you've done for us and for me.
All right, here comes Ann. I tell you what, as somebody's finishing, if you'd be, I think there's probably going to be a number of you that want to share something. Just make your way up here quickly as soon as the next person ends.
Okay. Well, I wanted to honor the other woman in my husband's life for 30 years, and she's probably spent more time with him almost than I have. Day in and day out. I wanted to do an acrostic for Beverly, and I came up with the word diligent because she is. And you know, I was thinking about, she was the church secretary or assistant or whatever, but she was so much more. I mean, this was just her life. Our church family was her life, like making wedding dresses or bridesmaids' dresses. That has nothing to do with her being the church secretary. It's just the servant that she is. So I thought of the word diligent, and I picked for the letter D. She's devoted. She has been devoted to our church family for 30 years through good times and bad, and she has always been there. I said she was independent. Whenever she saw a need, she would just do it. And she didn't wait around. She was just doing it. The next two were a little joined together. Elle, she's a laborer. She is a hard worker. And she is never idle. She is always doing something. G, I said she is genuine. You know, Beverly, there's really no pretense. Beverly is Beverly, and there's just no pretending. She is who she is, and I think such a great character quality. E, she's energetic. She can work circles around me. And she's, I just think about this building and how much she actually even worked on this. So. And then I said, she's needed. If you ever have a need here, what do we say? Go ask Beverly. Go ask Beverly. Go ask Beverly. She knows. She knows where it is. She knows what to do. And then T, I said she's teachable. She has always wanted to be a learner and growing in Christ, and I've seen her make great strides in that. She's very teachable. Many more other words I could have come up with, but diligent is Beverly.
Amen. That's it.
Okay, so kind of like to go along with what Ann said, one of the biggest things I noticed, we think secretary, most people think secretary on the computer and doing that kind of stuff, and she did that kind of stuff, but all the times I come up here to do stuff, to work on the building or whatever, she's always doing other stuff, whether it be cleaning something, putting away something, whatever it may be. She was doing everything. So I'm not really sure she had a title other than do all. I think, whatever needed to be done, like Ann said, Beverly, she wasn't, some people say, that's not my job. I don't think there was anything that Beverly said wasn't my job. So I just appreciated that she was willing to do whatever needed to be done. And one thing I will say, kind of on a funny, if you did something and move something that shouldn't have got moved or put something it shouldn't, you would hear about it. So trust me, because I have been that person many, many times. But that was good. She kept me in line when I needed to be. But I just thank you that you're willing to do whatever needed to be done. There was no job below you. You were willing to do from this job to this job, whatever needed to be done. Thank you.
Beverly, who is going to throw stuff out when Jimmy's not here? Sorry, Jimmy. Anyhow, Beverly has touched our lives for 18 years that we've been here. Excuse me. For me, we've had our ups and downs, but have always come through. And for me, my mother did chemo. And she took a blanket with her every time she went. And that blanket started to come apart after she died. And you fixed it for me so I can pass it on to my kids. For that, I'm forever grateful. Thanks.
Here she comes. She's got it written down.
I had to write it out. Well, Pastor Jimmy said to tell you some stories about Bev. I don't think I better. I'll be in so much trouble. I didn't know Bev till 2008 when I finally convinced her to teach me to make a quilt. And she took me and Peggy Williams to Walmart, supervised us buying our material. And from then on, I fell in love with quilting, and I got an extraordinary friend. And I just appreciate her so very much. And there's a lot, it's just like everybody's been saying, there's a lot that people don't know that she does behind the scenes here. And I know that Bacon's Castle is really, really going to miss her, but I am so looking forward to her retiring. Did I give it to you?
Oh, okay. I didn't thought you were going on.
No.
After Micah, we're going to watch something.
Donna's going up behind you.
Oh, after Don.
So my quilt is the last one over there. And I told Beverly wanted to know if we wanted a quilt. I said yes, but make it square because I hate figuring out which direction it goes on the bed. We have saved so much time. There's a red dot in the middle. I know when it's centered. I mean, it is perfect. But when I looked around this room, how many, 10,000 hours, how much time did you spend quilting all these things? Like, it is it is absolutely unbelievable to look at the amount of effort. You make one quilt and it goes out the door, and then you make another quilt and it goes out the door, and you don't get to see. But this is, it is unbelievable to think that one person could produce all this. And we are the recipient of 2 of them. Thank you so much. The other thing I want to say before I go down is I've had opportunity a couple times to preach, and Beverly has been one that has come to me, and I love when this happens. As Ann said, she's for real. She's come to me and has said to me, what you said convicted me. I want to change. This is what I need to do. And she took it seriously. The effort that went into it, the word of God that came out, she took it seriously, and she intended on it being a changed scenario in her life. And I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
My household has been the recipient of several quilts by Beverly. She always makes quilts for every child that's born in this church. Every child that's born in this church has quilts from Beverly. I couldn't put my hands on any of those because the kids have gotten older and they're packed away somewhere for their children. But I actually won a raffle. That's how I got my Beverly quilt. So the relay one over there, Beverly made that, and I entered the raffle at the high school or wherever we had it that year, and I won. So I said, hey, I got a Beverly quilt too. But I have enjoyed doing sewing with Beverly. Going on the quilt shops trips are so much fun. We just have so much fun doing all kinds of things in addition to shopping for fabrics. And one other thing that some of you don't know, Beverly's lovely short hairstyle. Beverly and I and Gail Sawyer years ago, somebody knows how many years ago it is, but I don't, we're on the relay team, and we were talking about how we could raise more money. And so somebody said, well, how about if we shave our heads for $5,000? I'm not shaving my head for $5,000. I mean, it was kind of windblown because I've been at ball games all afternoon. I said, for $10,000. If we can raise $10,000, I'll shave my head. So is Chuck here? I know he was in the hospital. Okay. But Chuck thankfully donated enough to make sure we went over $10,000. So one day after church, Beverly and I and Gail let him shave our head. My son, who was getting married a few months later, said, Mom, you can't do that. You're going to be in wedding pictures we'll have forever. I said, sorry, I already promised that. It'll be okay. My hair grows fast. But anyway, so Beverly still has a lovely hairstyle. She kept hers a little shorter. I let mine grow a little bit longer, but God gave me this beautiful gray touch into the black. It was jet black when it first grew back with curls. So don't ever be afraid to shave your head, ladies, because you never know what you're going to get. So thank you, Beverly, for all the fun things we've done.
So 15 years ago we did this, and they did a skit kind of trying to capture what some of you have said. So the quality, here we go. Watch the skit.
much needed day off, for all the things she does here at our church. She's not your ordinary, everyday secretary, She's...
Beverly, here's a voice from the past.
Hello, Beverly. It was truly an honor when Jimmy asked me to say something at your roast. What? It's not a roast? She's retiring? This is a retirement party? I'm sorry, to say something at your retirement party. I'm sorry, I'm just shocked. You may not recognize my voice, but I'm a ghost from your past. Beverly, I have to admit, I never thought you would retire. I always figured the only way you'd leave that Bacon's Castle Baptist Church office is by a hearse. Congratulations on your 30 years. I'm sorry, it just feels like 300 years of serving the church. I don't believe I'm spoiling anything by saying this, because we all know there isn't anything at the church that you wouldn't know about. But I am so pleased to hear, in your honor, they're going to have a Beverly Mann wax figure in the sanctuary. What an honor. The only thing I can tell you is to make sure it's not anywhere near any lit candles. Again, Beverly, congratulations. I wish you many, many, many blessed days ahead of you. Wait a minute. Guys, are y'all just joking? Is this a joke? She's not retiring. Wait a minute. April Fool's early joke, right? She's retiring? Okay. Seriously. Congratulations. But I am going to have to tell you, in a couple months, I'm going to call and see if you pick up at the church and do your normal thing like you normally do when I call and ask to speak to Jimmy. And you put me through knowing he's not there. Congratulations, Beverly. If you don't know who this is and you don't recognize my voice, you will figure it out in a few seconds.
You know the voice yet? Oh my goodness. All right, watch this next look. Listen, one clip from 15 years ago, and this is the voice. But y'all watch, it's kind of funny.
For 15 years, Bev, I know you prided yourself on affection. And I spent past couple of weeks looking for 15 years of emails and your church bulletins and your newsletters to see if I could find any mistakes. and guess what? I found some. So I thought that, can everyone hear me in the back real good? Yeah. So I thought I would sit and share some with you. It wasn't easy though, okay? All right, in one of the bulletins, which I call it a bulletin, and it's what we receive on Sunday morning. Bev wrote, well, she typed, Pastor Jimmy will preach a short sermon, and after which the choir will sing, break forth into joy. For those of you who have children and don't know it, we have a nursery in the next building. You're going to still love me, aren't you, Beth? The sermon for today is, don't let worry kill you off, let the church help. The men's breakfast committee would appreciate if any of the ladies of the congregation would lend them their electric girdles for the pancake breakfast next Sunday. It sounds like a lot of old people laughing on that one. Some of the young ones are like, what's that? What's that? At the evening service tonight, the sermon topic will be, what is hell? Come early and listen to our choir practice. Sunday evening, barbecue dinner, prayer, and medication to follow. BCBC is offering a low self-esteem support group. They will meet Thursday at 7 to 8:30 p.m. Please use the back door. The choir invites any member of the congregation who enjoys sinning to join the choir. Now, would you like to read something? Now, come on, Beverly. Pastor Jimmy is on vacation. Massages can be given into the church secretary. You came to this dinner voluntarily. Next Sunday, Mrs. Sue Redmond will be soloist for the morning service. The pastor will then speak on It's a Terrible Experience. Please remember in prayer the many who are sick of our church and community. Now, Bev, afterwards I'd like to talk to you about this one. Weight Watchers will meet at 7 p.m. Please use large double doors in the side entrance. It's all here. The outreach committee has enlisted 25 visitors to make calls on people who are not afflicted with any church. And she's held a job for 15 years. I hope you still love me.
I want to stop that now, but there's a whole bunch more she reads. And I want to show you all that because when I got up to speak after that, I had to go up and tell you all that really wasn't true. People were sitting at their table saying, I must have missed all of those. I must have missed them. I didn't see all those things in the bulletin. Well, they weren't really true. So, and I won't say what I said then. But anyway, that was Michelle. And so who else? I'm going to give you, I didn't want to use all the time with that. So come if you want to come and share. Linda, come in just a second. Jessica will go first. And then you can come.
First off, I hope you know I love you because I don't like doing this. But in addition to being this wonderful, but somewhat irritating man's work wife, you are also the church mom. If you need someone's phone number, you're going to call Miss Bev. If you need an address, you're going to call Miss Bev. If you need to know what time dinner starts, call Miss Bev. So just thank you for always being our work mom who, if we're running as kids around that corner, you're going to stop us, make us go back to where we started, and walk quietly to where we're going. So I just want to thank you for always being a memory to me of always being there for our church and providing all these wonderful quilts to our families and just being who you are. So thank you.
So Linda wanted to share something too. So Linda is Beverly's daughter, if you haven't met her, and so she's going to come in and share.
Hello. I just want to let y'all know right now, this is not an April Fool's joke. Anyways, she's told me several times that a lot of you had said that, wow, what, of all days, of all the, in the year, that April 1st would be the day that you would retire. But I think she's ready. She's excited, nervous, anxious. But I don't do really well at free speaking, so you guys know that I just jotted something down that I am more comfortable with reading, so I'm just going to do that. And I actually started it off already. But anyways, so this is it. It's real. It's happening. After 30 years of serving the church as church secretary extraordinaire, my mom has finally decided to take the leap and retire. Although bittersweet, I know she's excited for the change and anxious for the adventures and memories she will make on this road before her. With any job, as we all know, there have been the rough days, the stressful days, the sad days, mixed in with all the happy days. But overall, I know that my mom has truly enjoyed her position in the church all these years. When I look at my mom, I see a force to be reckoned with, irreplaceable. Speaking as her daughter, and although she may not see it in herself sometimes, she is someone that we can all look up to, as I have for many years. And 3 things that stand out to me as admirable qualities in my mom. She has shown me the attributes of unconditional love, doing everything to your fullest extent, and a true example of being a servant of God. My mom has a lot of love for these 4 walls of Bacon's Castle. In that is you and your families, and every little thing that she has done over the years has not been because it's her job, but because of her love for God and her church family. Pride can seem self-centered in some cases, but there's a genuine pride my mom has always had for this place, in that being reflected in her work. I've always seen her as the true definition of humbleness in a hardworking woman, someone that I think about every day at my job, the woman that I've learned from and strive to be like. My mom is a wonderful woman. I hope she feels that today, just like every day, how much she is loved. I know that by her stepping down, she is going to be truly missed as what y'all have been used to for so many years as the go-to. But remember this, she's still here, and she's still Miss Bev. She's your friend, part of your church family. The only thing that's changing is her position, but not her as the person that I know so many of you love. I can't help but think about when she took me to kindergarten orientation when I was little, and the man on stage stated, "Y'all had your kids for 5 years, it's our turn now." That shook my mom, but in a sense I feel that today. I'm looking forward to more time with my mom. Y'all have had her for 30 years, it's my turn now. Understand that to be silly because she's always been my mom, but I'm happy thinking of the days where we can get in the car and just go, or have our own So We Can Surrey just because we have nothing else going on. My mom and I have reflected on wishing my dad could be a part of these things and the road ahead. I know if he were here today, he'd be sitting with a smile, thankful that I was the one that took the reins on speaking and not him. Not that it was expected, but I wanted to pay tribute to her. She's a special woman, and I'm happy to have her as my mom. Oftentimes, we get so wrapped up in ourselves and don't say what we want till it's too late. So I wanted to take today as one of those opportunities. She's the queen bee and shows me all the bees to be. Be the light, be joyful, be kind, be the friend. And I wanted to share a verse. I read several verses trying to think about like what was the right one to say that, and one of the, it's written different than, sorry. It's it's written different than how I normally read it, but anyways, it's Philippians 2:3-5. Do nothing from rivalry or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interest of others. Have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ. I love you, Mom. And I just want to tell you that I know that you have always told me how much I am like my dad. But these few people that have come up here and stood and said things about my mom today, I realize how much she has taught me to the person that I am, because I am that person. I am part of you, just like I'm part of Dad. And, so I look forward to the road ahead with you, wherever that's going to take us. Okay? I love you. Thank you.
I'm going to make your way this way, Janet, because
I'll go fast. It's probably no surprise that I'm the designated Acre Kid spokesperson today. But it's funny, when I think of Miss Bev retiring as the church secretary, like that doesn't even cross my mind, because to us, it never really felt like she was the church secretary. We've already listed kind of all of the extra jobs that she did around here, but one was really helping the pastor and his wife raise their 6 children. And I remember, growing up, we would spend, like, Mom would have to take a kid to the doctor or something, and she would drop us off to hang out at church in the nursery, which essentially meant hang out with Miss Beverly, because she would be the one kind of go back and play or things like that. And so, for years, she was also our neighbor, really just an extra grandparent. We were laughing. All of my siblings have been together this weekend, and we were talking about you around the table last night, and she took us to the circus and Busch Gardens, and this is the story that everybody was like, we should tell this one. So you'll probably remember, because we all vividly remember it, and we were all sitting, Mom and Dad were gone, and Shepherd never wanted to eat his vegetables, and so everyone was finished, and he had some green beans left on his plate, and we're like, Miss Bev, Mom and Dad, make him eat the green beans, and she's like, are you sure? Because he's crying, and we're like, yes, and he ate them, and then he threw up. And then Miss Beverly got so mad at us because she felt like we tricked her into making him eat the green beans, but we thought that was right anyway. But Ms. Beverly, when Ika said, you are not just Bacon's Castle Baptist Church's church secretary, you were an extension of our family for 30 years, and you have really helped shape who we are just because of how much time you invested in us. And I think all 6 of us, well, all 5 of us are here for the first time in 10 years, it feels like, so we came for you. So congratulations.
Hi, Bev. Ann said that you were teachable. You have been a teacher. You fulfilled a dream of mine. I listened at my dad's knee for years, him tell of his mother making quilts, making log cabin quilts, one for each of the children. My dad was next to the youngest of 11. He never got his. But you helped to teach me to do that so that I was able to make that for my dad. And I thank you. But you were also teacher to all of us. And that when we serve with God's heart. And I thank you for teaching us that lesson.
Well, I'd just like to say that I've been here for 4 years, and 4 years ago, one of my neighbors brought me up here at like 7 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday morning, and he said, I have a meeting up there, I just want you to come with me. And I'm like going, what? What would I do at a meeting he's coming to? So he brought me in, and there sat Bev with all of her busy bees quilting, and he knew I was a quilter. Thank you, Joe. I know you're here somewhere. But anyway, I just want to say thank you because you are very welcoming. And when you're new in an area and someone just embraces you and brings you in with a group of ladies that have just been by my side for the last 4 years, I just appreciate you so much. I've been amazed at what you do as the church secretary, and as well as your quilting abilities are just phenomenal. And I just think you are a wonderful lady, and I love you very much.
Amen. Cindy's part of the Wednesday sweatshop, the sewing sweatshop. Somebody else? Oh, Ronnie, come on. Oh, okay. Did you write her a song?
Yes. Well, actually, no. I actually wrote a song quite a few years ago. I don't know if you remember, but I was thinking about it this morning, and I really wasn't thinking about doing this, but I thought, well, maybe I should. But then I thought, we need a new song, and it was like, is this thing on? Beverly, man, she kept Jimmy straight. Now who else can? No, but Bev, man, no, that wasn't it though. But anyway, we'll work on that. And I had written a song, and it was a song that I think says a whole lot about who you are and what you've meant to this church. And I hope I can remember the words because it's been a while. But since you don't know the words, and if I mess the words up, you're not going to know anyway, so this will... There we go. This is actually not a comedy, but...
I couldn't help but notice, I didn't mean to stare, but when I saw you, I saw Jesus standing there. It wasn't in some awesome act of faith His glory shone, but the servant's heart within you, friend, had made His presence known. I saw Jesus, I saw Jesus, I saw Jesus when I looked into your eyes. I saw the love of Jesus written clearly on your face. I saw the hands of Jesus as you ministered His grace. And I saw Jesus when you held a hurting child. I saw Jesus when you turned the tears to smiles. As I look back, I recalled all the times it has been true that I see the light of Jesus shine in you. Though I may have never told you, I thank God for everything you have meant to me in this church as a bondslave for the King. Through the years you have been faithful as His servant through and through. The light of Jesus Christ is clearly seen in you. I saw Jesus, I saw Jesus, I saw Jesus in your prayers, in your praise. I saw the face of Jesus in your countenance so sweet. I saw Jesus working through your hands and walking through your feet. I saw Jesus in your passion for the lost, in a yielded life no matter what the cost. It's in the simple, ordinary things each day you do that I see the light of Jesus shine in you. Oh, I see the light of Jesus shine.
Love you, Bev.
In you.
Hi, Bev. I'm not a member of this church, although Jimmy has tried to get me to be a member of this church.
Because you keep taking ours away.
Yeah, Sue and Lou play the piano for us at Claremont. They alternate. But Bev has made me feel like I'm a member of this church. I come to 3 meetings here, even though I'm not a member. I come to Tuesday morning breakfast. I come to Wednesday morning prayer meeting, and I come to the sewing time that all the ladies get together. I don't have to tell you which of those 3 is the most important. Being with the ladies is in the sewing room is very important. I came to her and I was amazed by all that they did. And I said, I have a whole bunch of worn out jeans. Do you think I can make something out of them? I don't know if she suggested it or I suggested it, but I made an apron and I cut them out. And I'm a real novice when it comes to sewing like that. And I was so excited, she said I had to cut 5-inch blocks out and sew them together. And so I did. And I was so excited about cutting out 5-inch blocks. And finally, one of them said, Joe, it's just 5-inch blocks. You don't have to be so excited about it, but she helped me put that all together. And in a very loving and caring way, Bev has redefined the definition for a secretary, because she does things not only in the office, but she does everything out of the office. And I'm so thankful that they let me be a part of the sewing group. And you have more than just 1 or 2 men in your life. I'm one of them. And the wife is so glad that you keep me away from the house so she can get something done. So thank you. God bless you, Bev.
So we've been here for almost 4 years now. After being in a couple other churches over our ministry time, I was in a church before Michael became a minister. And I don't know if you all realize just the blessing of longevity that God has blessed Bacon's Castle with in Bev and Jimmy. Being here 30 plus years and seeing so many things through and not just jumping at the latest, greatest thing that they could have gone to. I'm sure there's many times where Bev sat there thinking, I got to find another job. I got to get out of here. And she stuck with it and stayed the course. And you guys are a tight-knit family. We are a tight-knit family because of the staff that has chosen to stay and keep us tight-knit together, and just that running thread. And I look at all of the quilts out here, and just one of my favorite verses comes to mind, that he who began a good work in you, Miss Bev, has carried it on to completion in so many people's lives, in the threads of the quilts and in the threads that you've built into people's lives, the way that you've given into my family and to my girls, and the babysitting times and just the fun times where she would drop by with donuts, or, hey, I'm headed to, here, can I bring you this or that? And just the way that she's blessed us. And so that good work is not ending, though, as everyone has pointed out. That good work is going to be carried on into the next thing that you do. And we're just so blessed that we're still going to have you as part of our family, and we're going to get to see how God continues to use you.
Okay, so most of you probably think, oh, Mindy's up there. She's going to talk forever. First, no, I'm not. And quilting, which is very much a part of my relationship with Bev. But my relationship with Bev started probably Katie's 26. So close to 26 years ago when she and Meg Lawrence came to visit me. The Coggins had invited us to church and to do Awana. And so it started really with her coming, her coming to visit, and many of us know Bev for many things, as has been mentioned here, but her commitment to Awana, always a Sparky, because her maiden name is Spark, so she was always a Sparky, but not just being the leader for Sparkies, but also that she learned those verses right along with those kids. As leaders, for us to earn our awards, we would have to tell another leader verses. And I remember listening to Bev on a Sunday morning or after Awana that she would come and she would say the verses to me so that she was learning just like those kids were. And that to me says a lot. And also how she embraced my mom when my mom would come and visit, and as many have said, just absorbed you into the quilting group. I mean, my mom, we just lost my dad, but Bev would check on us, and she would check to see how Dad was doing and how Mom is doing. And because of that relationship that she's built, my mom is comfortable to feel like in time that to be moving here, she loves this church, even though she's in upstate New York. So thank you.
All right, nephew.
I'm the favorite nephew because I'm the only nephew. I just wanted to come up here and say thank y'all for everyone that came out to celebrate my aunt's retirement. It means a lot to me. She's the glue of our family. She really is. Everything we've been through in the last year, I'm sure a lot of y'all know, it's been heartbreaking. Losing my Uncle Rick, losing my grandson. I just want to say I love you. And you really do mean everything to me.
We're coming up on an hour, so one or two more. Anybody else? Charles, come on up. Oh, you come first. Come on, Charles. Come stand with me because you're a preacher, right? And when I go visit y'all's churches, you make me sit on the front row. So you come stand right here beside me.
Good morning, Miss Bev. Can I have a piece of candy? Just like Jessica and Libby said, Miss Bev was more of a grandma to me than she was a church secretary. So I didn't really know her in those terms growing up, but I was trying to think of what to share tonight with you, Miss Bev. But every memory that I can think of from childhood, you were there. You were there since I was born, pretty much. And so I can remember, like Libby said, going to water country and the pool and the circus with you. And not only that she was a great teacher, you wouldn't know it because I can't sew at all, but she took myself and Libby under her wing and she taught us how to sew. We made little cards. We were the sewers of the round table. Miss Bev still has her card. And so just the amount of time and energy and love that you poured into me and so many other young people, I long to be like that. And so I just appreciate that, and I'm so grateful for how much you've influenced my life.
Good evening to all. I'm Charles. I moved into the community, I guess, maybe 25 years plus. Yeah, and the first person I met was Pastor Jimmy. I was trying to cut some grass, and he approached me and he said, if the Lord was to come back right now, what would you do? So the first thing he did was he witnessed to me. Okay? And the very next person I met, I think, was Miss Bev. And I found her to be a wonderful woman of God. Whether she's putting up the sign, she greets me. If I'm outside cutting grass, she greets me, she waves. I've known her to do things, Jimmy, I know probably some things you don't know. This is what I found out about her in yesteryear. It was anybody maybe my age, James Brown, he was the hardest working man in show business. Miss Bev was the hardest working person at Bacon's Castle Baptist Church. If she was a secretary, when she quit being the secretary, she was out there in the food, messing with the grass or the blocks or the brick or the driveway or whatever. I just found her to be a true woman of God, and she's going to be hard to be replaced. She has been a help to me, and she's been a real blessing to our community. She has inspired me. I came home today and I took off my clothes, ate my dinner, and so I told my wife, so I'm going to run over to church for a minute. And I said, no, I got to put on something here because this is Miss Beth's retirement. She told me about a year ago. She said, in April, she said, I think I'm going to retire. Well, listen, I want you to enjoy your later, greater years. And whatever you do it. You have a family there, and you'll always have us. Right, Jimmy? That's right. God bless you. We love you. We appreciate you.
So they went to all this trouble to send this to me, so I need to show it. The audio's not all that great, but here's one more person, Ronnie and Sherry, just the Ronnie and Sherry one.
Hey there. Hi, it's Ronnie and Sherry. We're hailing from the sailing vessel Southern Accent here in beautiful St. Thomas at the U.S. Virgin Islands. We just wanted to congratulate you on your retirement, Bev. You wore so many hats when you were at Bacon's Castle, but you will be sorely missed as secretary. Hey, you still gonna make us some ginger snaps though, right?
Bev, enjoy your retirement. You surely deserve it.
Yeah, we love you.
We love you. Bye-bye.
All right, Miss Bev, we got a gift for you. So why don't you come on up here real quick. And Mike, would you mind bringing it around? It's right there beside you. It's blue. Yeah, that's part of the gift. Somebody might need to help him. I don't know. So Bev, no, it's a pear tree. Sorry. Doggone it. What'd you want? we bought you a tree to plant at your retirement, and it hopefully will be very pretty. If it's not, I'll tell you who to mess with later. But anyway, it should be very pretty. And we bought you a wheelbarrow because you wore your wheelbarrow out here at church and you don't have one anymore. So we bought you a wheelbarrow to go with it. And we have another. And we have a little monetary gift for you too. Okay. And if you'd stand right here, I want to share my thoughts with you. Can I do that? So Bev, Ann suggested that I just read to you what I wrote 15 years ago. And I'll be honest, if I could have found it, I probably would do that because nothing's changed in the second 15 years. You still make me look good. And if they think I forget a lot of things now, if they only knew how many things you helped me remember after I forgot them, right? So if they only knew that, they would know how thankful I am to you for that. I tried to think how you became secretary. I'm not even sure how that happened. I know I was doing everything back then and needed help doing the bulletin, and you started doing that, and of course, it morphed into so much more, and the rest really is history. How we actually got together as secretary, and yeah, you're going to tell them, okay. I'm not sure I like that idea, but anyway, because I won't have a chance to rebut it. But I wanted to just share with you, if I could, some things that I've appreciated, and it's kind of neat, Beverly. The things I've written down, I didn't talk to anybody, and so many people said some of the same things I'm going to say to you, but here's what I've appreciated and admired about you over the 30 years. I have appreciated and admired that you have sought to be a growing follower of Jesus all these years we've worked together. I've watched you grow. I've watched you repent when you've made mistakes. I've watched you when you've sinned, as we've all sinned, right? Man, I've watched you come to me in tears, say, Jimmy, I messed up. And I've watched you make those things right. And to me, that's such a mark of a godly person wanting to fix it when I mess up, right? So I have appreciated and watched you as you've become like Jesus. Paul tells us to press on, to press forward, to become like Jesus. And honestly, Beverly, you have set that example for me. Here's another thing I've appreciated. I've appreciated and admired that for as long as I can remember, you stopped looking at your job as just a job, and it became your ministry. You did whatever was needed, whenever it was needed. And yes, you were paid, but I tell you, it wasn't many years into this job before it wasn't about the money. It's never been about the money for you. I think John said that, but it's never been about the money. You have just done whatever needed to be done. We saw that in the video skit from 15 years. Nothing was and nothing is, nothing ever has been beneath you as far as what you do to serve us as a family. You sought to be a servant of Jesus and a servant of our church. And I'll still remember, I don't know who said it, but somebody said it, and you made a sign that you hung in your office. And it said, the true test of servanthood, and I may not get it exactly right, this is a good paraphrase though. The true test of servanthood is how I respond when I'm treated like a servant. And that was your motto, that was your desire. And the third thing I've appreciated and admired is that you became a part of my immediate family. I didn't know you were my work wife, as Ann said, but I did definitely see you as like a surrogate grandmother to my children. And it wasn't just that you helped watch them here and all those sort of things. We ended up on the same road, and you were just always investing in my kids. And you gave Ann and me date nights when my parents and her parents didn't live anywhere near here. You gave us date nights from time to time. And it was really neat because I could just trust you with my kids. And you've been at all my kids' weddings. And when Shep died, you wept with me. And you'll always be family to me. Always. I've appreciated and admired how you became my friend and my fierce defender. As a friend, you told me when I was wrong quite a bit. As a friend, you stood up for me when others were wronging me. You loved me. You may be retiring, but our friendship will certainly endure. So on behalf of all of us, as the pastor, lead pastor here, I want to thank you for 30 years of serving Jesus, of serving our church family. And I want to thank you for 30 years of serving alongside me. You can take it out if you want.
No, we'll leave it there. Well, Jimmy says it's my turn to talk. So for those of you that don't know me, Linda and I visited a church in the community, and we decided that we would go to Bible school. And to back up just a little bit, for those of you that don't know me, like some people do and don't know my testimony, when my mother got saved, I turned my back on God. And I was angry at him, and because of the circumstances of my life. And then we decided to go to Bible school. So we went to a community church, not knowing that it was an African American church. And we were not welcome there. And we turned around and we went back out and got in the car and went home. Well, it was just a couple days later that a former family that lived in Wrens Mill at the time I was out doing yard work at home, and they stopped by and asked Linda and I to come to Bible school. And I says, okay, I'm going to give it one more chance. So Linda and I came, and I fell in love. And the first thing that I remember was the first night there. And yes, Miss Sue had a good, she had a part in my salvation. Yes, she did. She was my first Bible school teacher. Janet Huber's mother was my first Sunday school teacher. And our Sunday school class met in the room now that is the shoebox room. That was our Sunday school room. And, but what I remember the most about that first night was the second night coming back, and Pastor Jimmy remembered my name. And he does have a good memory no matter what he says. And so Linda and we came back, and I think Bible school was in July, and in September I got saved. And it just started from there. But then I started the Tuesday Bible studies, and Ann was always doing them. And I remember, he probably doesn't remember, but walking down the hallway, he asked me if I would consider being the secretary. And I thought, me? And I never, ever in my wildest dreams thought that I would be here for 30 years. And probably the first few months he thought maybe, yeah. We did have some ups and downs about the computer, but I'm just very thankful that I have been given the opportunity to serve. And I do want to say that, I learned how to forgive my mother. And that was a big lesson to me, is to learn how to forgive my mother. Even though my mother had passed away, I knew that if she were living today, she would be my friend. And that's only because God changed my heart. And, but anyway, so I just want to say that what I've enjoyed the most about today, let me just back up a little bit. What would have made this day even better was if Rick were here. And most of you all in here knew Rick, and he struggled for years and years. But he was my champion, and he was my friend for 53 years. But anyway, I want to say jokingly, it's not an April Fool's joke. I started on April 2nd is when I started here, but this is kind of like what I think my funeral would be like. Is because I get to hear all the nice things you have to say about me instead of waiting until I'm gone. And I love that. So you can still have a funeral for me, but and maybe I'll have more quilts to hang on the wall by then. But anyway, I do appreciate this very much. I'm not going anywhere. I will be down here a couple days a week, serving like I always do. I'll probably help in the office a little bit till they find somebody to replace me. Anyway, but anyway, I do thank you for this, and I thank the servant thing. It is still hanging in my office. Came from Mike Carlson, and I'll always remember that, and I'm going to take it home with me. But anyway, thank you.
So one more story as we finish. Mike, come on up. So 15 years ago, Jamie tasked me with finding out what Beverly's favorite hymn was. And so when he gets up to lead us in that favorite hymn 15 years ago, this is what he says. I should have played it for you, but this is what he says. He said, so I asked Jimmy to find out the name of the hymn, Beverly's favorite hymn, and he found out and he told me. But I couldn't remember what it was. So I went to Jimmy and I said, Jimmy, what was that favorite hymn that Beverly had? And Jimmy couldn't remember either. So Jimmy had to go and ask again. But Beverly's favorite hymn is Be Thou My Vision. And we're going to end this part. And then afterwards, there's food. And thank you, fellowship team, for doing all of this. Just thank them for that. And there's food. There's chances to visit around the table. And Beverly, you may want to, they can come to you or you can go around, that kind of thing. So, Michael.
Well, Bev, the only reason why I know this is your favorite song is because the Sunday we were supposed to sing it, you were out of town, and you were very disappointed. And so I want this to be a great memory in your heart and in your mind as we sing this together.
Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart, not be all else to me save that thou art. Thou my best thought, by day or by night, waking or sleeping, thy presence my light. Be thou my wisdom, and thou my true word. I ever will are thy true Son, thou in me dwelling, and I with thee one. Riches I heed not, nor man's empty praise, thou mine inheritance now and always, thou and thou only, first in my heart. High King of heaven, my treasure thou art. High King of heaven, my victory won, may I reach heaven's joys, O bright heaven's sun. Heart of my own heart, whatever befall, still be my vision, O